Atlanta News First Plus starts now.
It's time for Overtime on ANF. In this episode, we discuss the Atlanta Hawks and the slew of offseason moves they've made. Welcome Asa Newell. Welcome Kristaps Porzingis. Welcome Nickeil Alexander-Walker. But is it enough to push them over the play-in hump and into the playoffs? Enjoy. All right, ANF Overtime on ANF Family. Aaron Ladd here, back and better than ever. We are going to be talking some Atlanta Hawks in this episode, but as always, remember, like, comment, subscribe, share, all that good stuff. Do everything to keep this platform growing as we try to continue down this mission of keeping you up to date with everything going on around the Atlanta area and more. The Hawks, what a interesting offseason it's been for the Atlanta Hawks. I don't think I've ever seen as much offseason hype for this team as they're getting currently, and they're about to begin Summer League play here today. We are taping this on July 11th, 2025. We'll get our first look at Asa Newell in Coach Quinn Snyder's system. I know he won't be coaching the team, but his system, we'll get to see how Asa fits in. Another guy I'm kind of taking a look at as far as Summer League is concerned. It was interesting, no Zachary Reese-Shea on this team. I mean, hey, number one overall pick, played a bunch in last year's season, really came on strong in the second half of the year. The front office has seen enough from the Frenchman. They say he's in, he's good, doesn't need to go to Vegas and participate in the Summer League. So that's a good sign there. Maybe not so much of a good sign is Kobe Buffkin still being included on this roster. I know he's entering his third season, maybe his fourth season. Let me fact check that very quickly here on ANF Overtime on ANF. He's only 21 years old, but we know he's had the injury concerns, and that's the one thing that makes me the most nervous. It's like, can we count on you to be the backup point guard that this team needs night in and night out to kind of bridge between the time that Trae Young is not there. This will be his third season in the league, drafted in 2023. Kobe Buffkin's on the Summer League team and has things to prove. I think it'll be interesting to see where he goes with this opportunity. Probably one of the most veteran players on this team. Also some Hawks news on this Friday. They signed Nikola Durcic, I hope I'm pronouncing that correct, to a traditional deal. I believe he came in under like a two-way deal, had some injury concerns. Speaking of injury concerns, he's on the roster with a standard NBA deal. But that's not what we're talking about today. It's not why we are pressing play and pressing record on this podcast on this Friday. It's to talk about kind of this crazy offseason that they've had. And it started with something that we did discuss on Mike, is the team parting ways with then general manager Landry Fields and elevating assistant GM Onsi Saleh to the full-time role. And he has been cooking. Word to all of the memesters on social, word to all of the online pages that are let Onsi cook, and all of the fanfare that's been having. He's cooked up a 5-star meal, if I may say so myself. Obviously, we haven't seen it put together yet, and I know that's the big pause, is how does everything come together. But I think one of the big moves that initially kicked things off was the Kristaps Porzingis deal, and that is now officially official. He has been in Atlanta. He came in, did his physical, didn't do media. A little salty about that. Didn't do media, but the pros and the cons behind behind that deal is interesting. This is a guy that does have, maybe that should just be the episode title. His injury concerns, injury questions, injury history. He's only played 60 or more games in one of the last 8 seasons. And a lot of people are still wondering what happened specifically to last year, because as a member of the Boston Celtics, as they were making their push to defend their title, he was suffering from some sort of mystery illness. that kept him out. I believe some people thought it was like vertigo. I don't know if we got an official diagnosis on that. Needless to say, regardless of last year, one of the last 8 seasons, he's only played more than 60 games and comes with a $30 million salary. The good part is it's only a 1-year deal for Atlanta. So you kind of see it like a flyer, kind of see it like a lottery ticket. If it works out, he's a guy who can stretch the floor, a big that offers you a lot of optionality, which is one of those trendy words in around league circles now. He offers you switchability, optionality, versatility, all the Y words. Kristaps Porzingis kind of brings and offers that for Atlanta. And look, if it works, maybe they re-sign him. Maybe he becomes part of the nucleus here around Trae Young and what they like to do in the future. But if it doesn't work, it's a 1-year deal. That's the Kristaps Porzingis deal. Obviously, Asa Newell and what they were able to do there, but maybe lost in the shuffle was the deal that it actually took to acquire, or the deal that they actually executed to move back in the draft. I believe it was moved back 10 spots in the draft. Trading with the New Orleans Pelicans, also picked up an unprotected first-round pick, the worst of the 2 selections between the Pelicans and the Milwaukee Bucks. That's huge, and we've gone on record here talking about draft capital being important for the Atlanta Falcons, and the move that they made to kind of double up and get 2 edge rushers in the first round. This is just as valuable in the NBA, if not more, considering where those teams look to be. The Pelicans don't seem to really factor into the Western Conference at all. Milwaukee's trying to figure their stuff out, but did make a big swing at Miles Turner. It's I think that's one of those moves that, yeah, it's not as sexy. They still got Asa Newell, who will be a good development piece for them, but to be able to get that first-round pick in addition to having theirs next year, absolutely huge for the Atlanta Hawks. Then they spent some money. Then they went and spent some money. We were wondering and this was kind of rumored for a while. I'm always lurking on socials. I'm always looking at the rumors and speculation. The Hawks were attached to Nickeil Alexander-Walker for a minute. I mean, his name was one that you saw kind of floating around. Obviously, Minnesota had some success, plenty of success. They've been in the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years in a row. They've had success, and we knew they weren't going to be able to pay everybody between Naz Reid, between Alexander Walker, between Anthony Edwards, Rudy Gobert. Like, it was very common knowledge around league circles that the Timberwolves were going to have to part ways with someone, and Nickeil Alexander-Walker comes over for Atlanta and really is going to play a pivotal role in that. Oh, maybe you should take a shot every time you hear these words. The versatility, the optionality. As I look up some of the details behind his deal right now. 26 years old. Last year averaged 9 points per game, 3 rebounds, 2 assists on 43%. Field goal percentage. He is a Canadian, so Onsi Saleh was very excited about welcoming him to Atlanta. But I really like this deal. I really like his fit more so than anything. You know, the fit is extremely important, especially when you're trying to build out a roster. You're trying to figure out the pieces around Trae. I mean, really, your core is Jalen, Trae, Reese Shea, and Dyson Daniels. Those are your core 4. I would throw Onyeka Okongwu kind of right on the outside of that, outside looking in. We know that they feel very strongly about him. But who are players that they could bring in that would kind of fit around that core 4 and allow the team to play with pace, play with pace, still have an effort on the defensive side of the ball? That was an issue for Atlanta multiple times last year. And Nickeil Alexander-Walker is a great two-way guard. He can play both sides of the floor. 4 years, $62 million was the deal for in a sign and trade agreement, which allows them a little bit more cap flexibility and to be able to get the deal done, excuse me. So I like that fit. And when you're thinking about the offseason, right? The trade back, you get the pick, you get Asa Newell, you get Kristaps Porzingis, you get Nickeil Alexander-Walker. Here's a quote right here from Zach Langley. This has to be an assertive, intentional way to start free agency for Onsi Saleh and the Hawks front office. They're clearly prioritizing defense, shooting, and lineup versatility. Take a shot again, all the keys that it takes to win in today's NBA. They really want to get more versatile. And we can talk about some of the pieces that left. In the Kristaps Porzingis deal, they lose George Niang. Terrence Mann signs a deal with the Brooklyn Nets, I believe. Clint Capella goes over to the Houston Rockets. Those are pieces that, back to this point, not as versatile, not as switchable, have a very specific role, can't do a lot of different things. The Hawks are clearly prioritizing defense and shooting, and not done yet. I know we mentioned Porzingis, Asa Newell. I almost said Luke Cornett. Luke Kennard. Darn it, I'm going to keep doing that to Luke. Kennard. Luke Cornett and Luke Kennard, what happened? Did they just get I can't be the only one who makes that mistake. The shooter, in the NBA. I wanted to say something else, but Luke Kennard. Luke Kennard is an Atlanta Hawk. And this it makes sense what this is. This is a shooting. This is a shooting ad. Luke Kennard, I read from the Hawks release, currently owns the highest career free 3-point percentage of any active player. And we know the Hawks are a team that likes to move the ball, they like to play with pace, and they like to shoot a lot of threes. This is a Trae Young team. Let's not be mistaken about what this is. They are a team that's going to launch the ball, and he's going to come in and get a lot of looks, stretch the floor, space the floor. Think about the lineups that they can roll out there now. Think about a Porzingis, Onyeka, Risa Shea, Jalen, and Trae, or Dyson. It's just you can already dream of the possibilities. I bet Quinn Snyder's just absolutely salivating at the fact that they've got this versatility. But I want to take a quick break and then come quickly back, and we'll just discuss a realistic win-loss record for this team. I know the expectations are high. I know everybody's got them as the offseason winner, hang the banner for this year's team. But what's a realistic expectation for their success in this upcoming year? We'll be right back. Back in on ANF Overtime on ANF, and we were discussing the Atlanta Hawks and some of the offseason's moves that they've made this year. Really have gotten a lot of success, or a lot of applause, I should say, from media circles and league circles about their moves. But I want to set a realistic goal or expectation for this Hawks team, and it's very simple. And it's something that Trae Young has talked about as recently as this past offseason. Playoffs, not play-in. Playoffs. Top 6 seed in the East. That doesn't mean you have to win your division. I know divisions are difficult in the NBA. Don't have to win your division. Just be a top 6 team. I think that with the moves they've made, with Jalen, now this is all assuming health, and I know we had jokingly nicknamed this the Injury Concerns Podcast, and we're talking a lot about health, but we're assuming those things. We're assuming that there will be some health with this team. But last year they were 40-42, and that was with a large chunk of Jalen Johnson being out. That was with the continuity issues that they had defensively, trying to get things together. I would say 50 wins. It's an estimate. I know we like to make estimates and guesstimates on here. Is 50 wins getting into the top 6? Maybe 52 wins. Are they 10 wins better? Comment. tag me, post me at Aaron Ladd TV on X, at Aaron Ladd0 on Instagram. What do you think are your realistic expectations for the Atlanta Hawks this year? As I try to scramble to find the standings from last year, I don't think 50. I don't think 52 wins, 10 wins better. Maybe I was speaking a little too soon. The Pistons were the 6th seed last year, and they were 44-38. All right, so 50 wins is more than enough. The Pacers were a 50-win team last year, and we know what happened to them. 1 win away from the NBA championship. They were the 4 seed at 50-32. Milwaukee was the 5 seed. They were 48. Okay. I would definitely say the Hawks are 6 games better than last year. Just on paper. Just on paper. We're doing the paper stuff now. It's July. Please don't clip this up. Please don't. But I won't put a number on it. I'll stick with what I said before. Playoffs, not play-in for these Atlanta Hawks who have had a great offseason. Kristaps Porzingis, Asa Newell plus the pick, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Luke Kennard, not Luke Cornett, and another year of continuity with all of the guys in Quinn's system. I like for them to be a play-off team, not a play-in team in 2026. Can't wait to hear what y'all think about this. Please tap in with us, like, comment, subscribe. We will see y'all next time.